I never would have imagined it could be used like this. If you have ever had a cold, you have probably used VaporRub. The soothing scent opens your sinuses up and soothes your coughs. There is obviously some very important science to it, but when you are sick all that matters is that it is a magical potion that will save you from the sneezes. The thing is, VaporRub has many more magical abilities than just treating colds. There are a bunch of really cool ways to use VaporRub that are going to help you out in so many situations. Check out 10 of the ways you can use VaporRub. 1. Fight off toe fungus. One of the main ingredients in VaporRub is thymol, which acts as an antiseptic and has antibacterial properties. Rubbing it on your toes will help get rid of the unpleasant fungus that might be troubling you. 2. Soothe sunburns. If you are suffering from a sunburn, you can rub a little bit of VaporRub on it and it will help the stinging stop. 3. Moisturize chapped lips. Dry lips are one of the worst things, but a little bit of VaporRub goes a long way to keep them from cracking. 4. Ease earaches. If you have an earache, you can put a little bit of VaporRub on a cotton ball and put it into your ear for a few hours. The antiseptic properties will help ease infections and it will also reduce pain. 5. Relieve headache pain. If you rub some VaporRub into your temples, the menthol will help to relieve some of the pressure in your head. 6. Keep your heels soft. Cracked and dry heels are the worst. It can be painful and annoying and sometimes hard to get rid of. If you cover your heels with VaporRub and then cover it with a cotton sock, you can get that moisture back where it belongs and get soft feet you will want to show off. 7. Helps to train animals. If there is a place in your house your dog tends to mark as their own, you can use VaporRub as a deterrent. Place an open jar near the area they keep marking and the smell will keep them away from the area so they won't mark there anymore. 8. Soothe sore and achy muscles. After a big workout your muscles might be hurting, but the VaporRub will calm it right down while increasing blood circulation to the area to help it heal faster. 9. Get rid of bruising. Add a little pinch of salt to some VaporRub and cover a bruise with it to help it go back to normal. 10. Fade stretch marks. You don't have to be afraid of stretch marks. Chances are you will get some in your life, they just happen. If you are particularly afraid of them, you can rub VaporRub on the affected areas and because of the mixture of oils inside it will increase the moisture to a level that will prevent them and heal the ones that have already formed. I can't believe how many cool things VaporRub can do. Share with your friends so they can learn just how handy it really is. Pamela Anderson distraught over Hugh Hefner's death, shares tearful tribute. On Wednesday, September 27, the founder of Playboy, Hugh Hefner passed away at his famous mansion surrounded by loved ones. Hefner not only changed the way America and the world viewed sex, he had a huge impact on popular culture and publishing. He helped shape the careers of many celebrities and he broke down barriers that stood in the way of free speech and civil rights. Minutes after the news of his death broke, tributes began to pour in. From actors and politicians, to former playmates and cover models, social media was filled with messages, videos, and photos that honor the businessman's legacy. But the most heartfelt tribute of them all came from model and actress Pamela Anderson, who owes her success to Hefner. Anderson graced the cover of Playboy in October 1989, which helped launch her career in Hollywood. She appeared in the publication frequently, and was named Playmate of the Month in February 1990. The star and Hefner remained close friends ever since, so it is only natural that Anderson is taking his death a lot harder than most. Earlier today, she posted a tearful video message saying goodbye to Hefner. Young mom with virtually no muscles gets pregnant with miracle baby after doctors say she can't. Shri Sela, who stands 4 feet tall, was born with a very rare condition called arthrogryposis multiplex congenita. This means she has virtually no muscle tissue in her limbs. Doctors told Cherie's parents it was unlikely she would live past her first birthday. She's now 23 years old. After many unsuccessful surgeries and procedure, doctors suggested that Cherie be placed in a wheelchair and get her education at a school for special needs students. But Cherie was determined to walk on her own and live as normal a life as possible. Incredibly, she took her first steps at 5 years old and ignored the bullying she seemed to face because of her different appearance. Years later, while studying at a school in Australia, Cherie met and fell in love with a man named Chris. Chris happens to have a hereditary condition that caused damage to his lower spine, so he was able to empathize with Cherie more than most. Cherie and Chris tied the knot in 2015 and were so excited to start their family. However, doctors thought Cherie's body was much too small to properly carry a baby and give it the room needed to grow. Despite the fact she was told she wouldn't be able to have kids, Cherie was once again defiant. Cherie and Chris were able to get pregnant, but were devastated when it ended in miscarriage. But yet again, she refused to give up. What happened next can only be described as a medical miracle. Watch the video below to see what I mean, and please share this with your friends on Facebook. Granny puts sign on hospital window, then ironworker is crushed when he reads it. This is one of those stories that just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. If you're having a bad day, look no further for cheering up. A few weeks ago, the exchange between an 88-year-old hospital patient and an ironworker left strangers stunned. Gloria Porter of Connellsville, Pennsylvania, spent a week at Exhala Frick Hospital. She was passing the time in her third-floor room by watching steel and ironworkers construct the new front entrance of the hospital. On a cold, snowy day, Gloria was a bit concerned about the safety of the workers. But it was ironworker Jeffrey who was concerned for the woman he had been watching. "This one guy looked over at us and waved, so we waved back," Gloria said. "I looked down on the beam and he had written, 'Get well.'" Gloria was stunned at the thoughtfulness of the simple message. She had been looking out for the workers, but little did she know that they had been thinking about her, too. "I saw the lady at the window looking out. I thought it would be a kind gesture just to tell her to get well," Jeff said. "I didn't think much of it. I just tried to make someone feel a little better." However, it was Gloria's response that really hit Jeff hard. The message was simple, but it was as though she had chosen exactly the right words. She scribbled on a piece of paper, "Stay safe." "That sign kind of crushed me." "I don't know how she knew stay safe," Jeff said. "It's kind of like ironworker lingo to stay safe. When I saw stay safe in the window, I kind of snapped my head around and said, to my coworkers, 'Did you see that?' It was exactly what the workers needed to hear on that dangerous day." Jeff shared the story on Facebook and it sparked even more kindness. That same Friday, a total stranger showed up to the construction site with an envelope addressed to Jeff and his crew. Inside was lunch money, another kind gesture that came at the right time. "I just try to lead by example and be a good person. I just hope everybody would do things like that because the world is not a very nice place," Jeff said. Please share this story with your family and friends on Facebook to spread this act of kindness. Little girl sneaks Prince Harry's popcorn. His snappy comeback has internet in laughter. Toddlers love a salty snack, and munching on that snack can happen in a variety of ways. From mom packing it in a container for you, to sneaking it straight from the hands of British royalty. It doesn't matter. Well, that's exactly what this brave toddler tried to do while sitting next to Prince Harry during a sporting event. The prince's response is now going viral and it's easy to understand why. It all started when the prince sat next to the adorable little girl. He and the girl exchanged smiles and Harry went on with his conversation with the friend sitting next to him. As they chatted along, The little girl noticed that Prince Harry was holding something delicious in his hands, a big bucket of buttery, salty popcorn. The moment Harry looked away, she slid her hand into the bucket and pulled out a fistful of the salty snack. The adorable little toddler munched away happily until Prince Harry finally noticed what happened just under his nose. Thankfully, Prince Harry wasn't upset and gave the girl a big smile. He understands that everyone loves popcorn and he couldn't blame her for her sneaky actions. The mom was thoroughly embarrassed but relieved when the prince was so understanding. In fact, Prince Harry and the little girl's dad ended up chatting after the popcorn theft. They all seemed to share a good laugh about it. It seems as though Prince Harry has grown up to be a fine young man and he'll make an excellent father one day. I'm sure he gets plenty of chances to interacting with cute kids thanks to his own precious niece and nephew. Take a peek at this silly interaction in the video below. She's just too darn cute. Dick Van Dyke marries wife he calls child bride who is 46 years younger than him. Back in 2006, Dick Van Dyke was in his late 80s when he noticed a beautiful woman at an awards show dinner. There was something about Arlene Silver, a professional makeup artist, that instantly drew him to her. Arlene is 46 years younger than the iconic actor, comedian, and all-around entertainer. That means that when Mary Poppins hit theaters in 1964, she hadn't even been born yet. Dick admitted he'd never approached a strange woman before. But that night, he did, and the pair eventually fell in love. The unlikely couple got married in 2012, despite the fact they each had their own doubts about their lasting power. There were many naysayers who also said their marriage would never work out. But Dick and Arlene have proven everyone, even themselves, completely wrong. They recently celebrated their 4th wedding anniversary. Age is just a number. In the video below from Oprah, Where Are They Now?, Dick introduces Arlene to the world and jokingly refers to her as his child bride. Watch the video below to meet the happy couple, and please share their awesome love story with your friends on Facebook. Stranger snaps photo of homeless man whose skin and bones. Person he last expects sees it. When we see people panhandling on the side of the road, it's difficult to imagine what caused them to stand where they are. Are they a product of unfortunate circumstances? Or are they responsible for the position they're in currently? While every situation is different, it's clear that every homeless person could use a helping hand. Thankfully, that's exactly what the community in Indianapolis did when they saw a man starving on the street. Johnny Servants was the first person to share an image of the homeless man, who was later identified as Johnny Rhodes, on Facebook. Servants explained that the man wasn't just homeless, but he was literally starving on the side of a busy road while thousands of people passed by without a care. He wrote, "I had to give this poor guy some money. I never give panhandlers money. But this guy's stomach was hitting his back and his ribs popping out. If you are at Thompson and Madison, in Indianapolis, throw him a buck or two, at least." The man isn't that expletive skinny by choice. I've seen skinny drug addicts. And this man is suffering from starvation. Within minutes, Servants' photo was shared all around the state and it reached the last person he ever expected, Johnny Rhodes' brother, Danny. Danny hadn't seen his brother in 7 years following the passing of their mother. He had searched for Johnny but he simply vanished without a trace. Danny told reporters that his brother had a history of substance abuse, which made tracking him down frustratingly difficult. Even with the help of the image, locating Johnny was impossible. That's when a total stranger named Amy Ranny Smith got involved. Amy started a Facebook page called Team Johnny Rhodes and asked members to send updates with Johnny's location if they spotted him around town. Sure enough, hundreds of people started sharing images of Johnny's most recent location, all of which helped Danny find his brother. The two men were finally brought together after weeks of searching and, while Johnny couldn't be convinced to get professional help, he did get a nice, warm meal and a safe place to rest his head. Amy shared how the meeting between Johnny and Danny went. He had 2 meals, a hot shower, a pair of clean clothes, a room to himself with quiet, a king-size bed, TV with cable, fridge, a microwave, Pepsi and leftovers. He is safe and resting. Despite Johnny's reluctance to get help, Danny is determined to keep reaching out to his brother. Family is family and Danny knows he can't simply give up. Even though Johnny was able to reunite with his loved ones, he still opts to spend a good portion of his time on the street. Thankfully, the community is aware of his situation and sends updates to the page regularly. Hopefully their kindness will help convince Johnny to turn his life around. Formerly conjoined twins are thriving at home after risky surgery to separate them. Their surgery caught the attention and heart of the world, as a set of conjoined twins underwent a life-threatening operation to be separated. On December 6 in Palo Alto, California, the girls were operated on to untangle their digestive system, uterus, a liver, a bladder, a pelvis and a third leg. Now, 7 months after their surgery, the girls are flourishing. The whole conjoined thing is like a distant memory, their mother Aida told the Sacramento Bee. I know they were at one time, but this is just our life now. The path to surgery started years before when the girls would suffer countless infections causing Erica to become dangerously weak. After being hospitalized with dozens of urinary tract infections and countless cases of dehydration, it became clear to their parents that they needed to separate the girls. Before the separation, the twins' anatomy was like that of 2 people above the chest and gradually merged into one before the diaphragm. They had a total of 3 legs, one which was believed never to be functional. Tissue from the third leg was used as part of Erica's reconstructive surgery, so each girl now has 1 leg.